Imagine spending 50 hours on a video, putting your best work into it, and no one ever sees it. Not because it's bad, but because you didn't do these things after uploading. I'm going to show you 10 things that you must do after uploading YouTube videos to get more views. So after hitting publish, if you're like me, then you probably immediately start refreshing the page right after, but the views aren't showing up fast enough. Well, that's because YouTube might be showing your video to people who don't even care what it's about. And to prove it to you, I'll show you how when my videos get shown to the right audience, people watch with way higher engagement, longer watch times, and better click through rate, which means it's only a matter of time before I teach the algorithm to find my audience. And that means if I can do it, you can do it too. All right, let's start with the first thing you should do. So I know descriptions feel like the boring part. You just want to hit upload and move on. But here's the thing, that little box under your video actually matters a lot, especially when you're still teaching the algorithm who your audience is. Now, YouTube has said that descriptions don't carry as much weight anymore, and that's true if your channel already has history and data. Some people say this doesn't really matter anymore or that it was never a thing in the first place. But if you're still growing, the algorithm doesn't have much to go on yet. So the clearer you are about who your video is for and what the video is about and what the goal of the video is about, the easier it is for YouTube to understand where it belongs. So think of your description like the explanation that helps YouTube and your viewers actually understand what your video is about. So start with the first two lines. So that's what shows up in the search results and mobile previews. So use that space to clearly tell people what they'll get and why it's worth watching. So you need to skip the fluff here. Something like, in this video, I'll show you how to finally grow your channel before your kids start roasting you for it. Not, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Remember to like, subscribe, smash the bell, join my 6-part funnel, download my free PDF, and maybe sacrifice a goat to the algorithm. So you want to keep it clean, use short sentences, and write it like you actually talk. So if someone scrolls through fast, they should still get what your video is about. So once that's good, let's talk about one small thing that actually helps a lot. So before you upload, you need to check your file names. So if your video is called something like, I finally fixed a thing that my wife said I couldn't, but your file name says final underscore real underscore one underscore v7.mp4, well, you already lost that battle, man. So rename it to match your title, like I finally fixed the thing my wife said I couldn't.mp4. Do the same for your thumbnail. YouTube reads those file names when it indexes the video. It's not a secret hack, but all of these small signals help YouTube understand your content better. Now, some people say this doesn't really matter anymore, or that it was never really a thing in the first place. And yeah, maybe not if your channel already has momentum, but if you're still starting out, it's better not to take any chances. I know I wouldn't. So everything you do right now helps YouTube figure out where your video belongs. So once that's done, it's time to make sure your whole channel is sending the right signals too. So go into your channel settings and look at your keywords. So these help YouTube understand what your channel is about. So if your channel is about woodworking, storytelling, or home repairs, well, then you say that. Don't go adding random stuff like Mr. Beast, stock market, and side hustles that definitely won't ruin my marriage. You're confusing the algorithm like it just opened 27 browser tabs and forgot which one was playing music. So you need to keep it simple and consistent with your real topics. When your titles, descriptions, and keywords all line up, YouTube knows exactly who to show your videos to. So that's how you start showing up next to creators who actually make sense for your audience. So once your channel's dialed in, let's make your videos easier to explore. So chapters help people stay longer. So they make your video easier to navigate and feel more organized. So when someone can find what they're looking for quickly, they don't leave, they skip, and they keep watching. So this actually helps retention. So you need to label your chapters like benefits, not timestamps. So instead of at a minute 12 hook, write at a minute 12, how to write hooks that actually keep viewers watching. So each chapter should make the viewer curious to click. So when your video feels structured and easy to follow, people trust you more. And that trust keeps them watching. So now when your viewer makes it to the end, so that's where the next step begins. Okay, so your end screen and cards are how you turn one video into a system. If someone's finishing watching your video, then that's not the end. That's the best time to send them to your next video. And you can add an end screen that connects naturally to what they just watched. So if the video was about thumbnails, link to one about titles. not the time I tried keto and I built a shed. And for cards, add one or two where it makes sense. Like when you mention a topic you've already explained in another video, it should feel natural, not like random pop ups showing up just to ruin the moment. That's how you build momentum. And the more connected your videos are, the more YouTube recommends them together. So you want to title your playlist with outcomes, not just categories. So instead of miscellaneous stuff, you need to call it something like How to Build a Channel from Scratch, full mini series, or Fixing the Mistakes That Killed My Last Video. So it's relevant, it's funny, it's strategic, and people like that kind of stuff. So ultimately, this keeps your watch time flowing from one video to the next automatically, like a Netflix binge, but for creators who actually want to learn something. So once that's locked in, it's time to build some real engagement. Okay, your pinned comment is your first conversation under every video. So it's the easiest way to guide people where you want them to go next. So you can link your next video, summarize your main idea, or ask a question that gets people talking. Something like, be honest, how many times did you have to redo that one part? And when people reply, answer them early. That quick back and forth tells YouTube that the video's active and that you actually care about your audience and your audience cares about you. So once your comments are working, so let's talk about timing because when you upload matters too. Okay, so this is a big one. When you're a new channel, timing matters way more than people think. You don't want to upload and publish right away. Instead, you want to upload a video 48 to 72 hours before release. So that gives YouTube system time to fully process your video, the quality, the subtitles, the metadata, all of it. So when you do publish, it's actually ready to perform. Then once it's processed and sitting in your dashboard, schedule it to go live about 30 minutes before your audience is most active. That way, YouTube can start showing impressions right as people are logging on instead of hours later. You can find that active window under the analytics. It's the when your viewers are on YouTube chart. If you don't have enough data yet, try evenings between 6 and 8 p.m. and adjust as you grow. It's not about guessing the perfect time, it's about giving YouTube the best chance to understand your video before you hit publish. Once your video's live, the next step is keeping that energy going even between uploads. Okay, the community tab helps you stay in front of your audience after a video goes live. So it's basically your channel's group chat, right? So you post a single image from your video, and you can write one line that teases the idea and add the link. Keep it simple, not like one of those Facebook posts from your uncle that starts with long story short and then ends up with 4 paragraphs with a recipe. Then maybe a day later, post a poll or question related to that video. So you're keeping people engaged without repeating yourself. So that's how you stay visible even when you're not uploading. But sometimes, even when you do everything right, your video doesn't take off. So that's when you move to the final step, testing. Okay, so if your video doesn't perform how you hoped, don't just leave it, test it, but test it with a caveat that I'll explain in a bit. So change one thing at a time, either the title or the thumbnail. Then you give it time, at least 72 hours before making another move. Now, even if your video performs well, you should leverage the best title or best thumbnail possible. You can test 3 thumbnail variations over time to see which pulls better. That's the safest thing to experiment with, and it won't tank your data. But when it comes to titles, though, that's where I see a lot of people mess up, though, because if you don't want to change your title unless you're getting impressions right from the start or the video's been completely dead for weeks, changing it too early resets that data that YouTube's already gathering and can kill your momentum that was about to build. So basically, you want to come up with step 10 here, this final step. You want to become prepared before you get here. Because with your best title locked in and 2 or 3 great thumbnail options ready before you even upload, that way, when it's time to test, you're not panicking, you're improving it. So, testing isn't about fixing a bad video, it's about making a good one perform even better. Once you get this part down, YouTube stops feeling random and you actually know why things work. So that's it. Those are the 10 things that you need to do after uploading a video. They might seem small, but together they make a massive difference.